And starting out day 2 on the first jam of this game, we're going to have Homoerotic up from Minnesota facing off against Helga Hufflepunk from Arizona on that jam line. Whistles blown, action starts. Homoerotic looking for a window on the outside, but finding a window of opportunity on the inside is going to be Helga Hufflepunk. She's going to pick up that lead jammer nod for the first jam of the game.
There goes Helga Hufflepunk into the back of the pack. Out of the pack, number 31, Homoerotic. 4 points picked up there by Arizona.
First blood has been drawn. Looks like we're going to have one penalty in that jam, so that's going to leave Minnesota short stacked on the track. Arizona coming out with 4 blockers. 1 blocker going to be fielded in that penalty box. I believe that's Barbell Fett.
T-Rex on the jam line for Minnesota. Going up against 5,000 Stashbot. Stashbot comes out, gains that lead. Jammer status coming around into turn 4.
That's Arizona picking up lead 2 times in a row. Well, hop, skip, and a jump into the center, actually. It didn't quite land that apex jump, so she does have to recycle back. Stashbot 5,000. T-Rex still looking for that crack in the armor that Arizona has put up on turn number 2 as Stashbot 5,000 rallies around that track for an all-natural Grand Slam.
T-Rex also out of the pack. Here comes Stashbot coming out of turn 3, calling it off. 4 more points picked up there by Stashbot, extending Arizona's lead to 13.
Empty penalty box on jam number 3. That means 5 on 5 on the flat track. We're going to have number 511, Wheelie Nelson, don the star for Minnesota. She's facing off against number 88, Goldie Loke.
And there we go. There goes number 88, Goldie Loke, coming out. Lead jammer for Arizona.
Wheelie Nelson looking for that crack, fighting on the outside. Reforming coming in for the big hit. Number 79, Kalaka with a big shoulder check, but she's going to pick up a penalty on that one. Goldie Loke gets through for that initial pass.
Goldie Loke stuck in the middle of the pack there, calling off that jam.
Just for the end of that jam, number 29, Killer B, picking up a forearm penalty. So short stack on the track all the way around. We got 2 blockers in the box at the start of this jam for Arizona. 1 blocker in the box for Minnesota. So 3 on 2 pack advantage.
Number 31, Homoerotic, donning the star for Minnesota. Number 55, Wilhelm for Arizona. And there goes Homoerotic coming out as lead jammer, Minnesota.
Homoerotic making short change of that defense, taking full advantage of that pack advantage with the 2 blockers in the box, but Wilhelm coming out quickly, finding that window, having a little hang up on turn number 3, but breaks through for 4 big points for Arizona.
Nice tiptoeing there by Homoerotic to get past the front blockers of Arizona. Calling off that jam before Wilhelm can get through the pack one more time.
Homoerotic putting up 4 points for the end of that jam. That puts Minnesota sitting at 5. Arizona sitting at 21. We got Helga Hufflepunk once again on that jam line. She's going to face off against Wheelie Nelson. Wheelie sprinting to the outside, shooting to the end, gets stopped up by that 3-point defense Arizona's putting down. Helga Hufflepunk powering through that Minnesota wall to get that lead jammer status.
And there goes Helga Hufflepunk once more, picking up those 4 points for calling it off. At 4 points, picking up Arizona to 25. Minnesota still with 5 there. We've got 5,000 Stashbot on the jam line for Arizona. And Itches be tripping for Minnesota.
Stashbot 5,000 diving up on that 3-point defense for Minnesota. Itches be tripping up front, looking for a window, but hop, skip, and a jump, holding that razor's edge. Stashbot breaks through to pick up that lead jammer status.
Itches be tripping, trying to fight past that front 2 wall of Arizona. Not quite finding anything right there.
Arizona's defense on point the last 2 days. Stashbot 5,000 zigging and zagging through that Minnesota defense, putting 5 in the sky, picking up all the points on the track.
Itches be tripping, still trying to get past that front 2 wall of Arizona. Stashbot 5,000 has to recycle back around to the back of the pack, going up against all 4 skaters for Minnesota, able to put 5 more points up in the air there.
And on the southern end of the track, we got Itches be tripping going up against that 2 wall. Arizona's putting up tight on turn number 2. Number 17 doing an amazing job. Don't blink, holding her back. Joined forces with RC Autobot to keep Itches be tripping while Stashbot breaks through for 5 more points.
Arizona picking up a multiplayer block there, sending someone to the penalty box. Stashbot 5,000 getting through one more time.
And we do have a star pass to Sheen, and at the end of that jam, Sheen is going to go to the penalty box for a cut track. So this is going to be a power start out here for number 88, Goldie Loke. Back advantage in favor of Minnesota. We got 1 blocker in the box at the start of this jam for Arizona.
And there comes Goldie Loke getting out of the pack on this power start for Arizona. Pack at a standstill at the far end of the track.
Little blocker do-si-dos. Helen Wheels exits the box. We got number 79, Kalaka, entering the box. So we do have 1 more blocker in the box for Arizona. Sheen getting knocked to the outside between turn number 2 and 3 down here, forced to recycle way back.
Yeah, Sheen having to go all the way back just past turn 1. And there's a big hole opened up there by the Arizona blocker. Sheen is out.
Taking full advantage of that power jam do-si-do. We got 88 Goldie Loke going to the box for a cut track penalty, giving Sheen the opportunity to run as a power jam.
And Sheen, once again, we have a jammer swap here as Goldie Loke coming back onto the track. Big hitting there by 719, a Bully Jean living up to her name. Goldie Loke coming around out of turn 4, though, around picking up 5 more points for Arizona.
I believe this is going to be a full 1 minute in the box for Sheen. Goldie Loke going to take full opportunity of that one. Rallying around that track, putting another 5 points on the board for Arizona.
Here comes Goldie Loke once again, untouched through the pack, putting 5 up high. 15 points there picked up by Arizona, extending their lead to 60. Minnesota still sitting at 5. Just over 20 minutes to go in this first period. Number 55, Wilhelm on the jam line for this power start here, power jam start for Arizona, getting through on their initial pass. Things moving slow at the front of the pack. Front three wall by Arizona holding strong as Wilhelm meets up with them, trying to find a tiny little hole there to get through.
RC Autobot coming up quick to assist Wilhelm, trying to get through, finding that window on the inside as Sheen breaks through for the initial pass. Wilhelm puts the hands on their hips and calls off the jam. 5 points getting picked up by Arizona. No points getting picked up by Minnesota on that one. Just over 10 minutes into this game, we're sitting at 65 points Arizona, 8 points Minnesota. Donning the star, we got number 3-1, Homo Erratic, going to face off against 394, Helga Hufflepunk.
Arizona with the pack advantage as Minnesota has one blocker in the penalty box. And there goes Helga Hufflepuff, number 394 on her initial pass. Homo Erratic out on their initial pass as well in a second position.
Helga Hufflepunk going on the outside, full speed. Bully Jean comes in with a hip check, knocking her to the outfield. She puts her hands on her hips, calls off the jam after that one, but not before she picks up 2 points for Arizona.
Stashbot 5000 donning the star for Arizona. Number 65, T-Rex for Minnesota. Nice.
That's an empty penalty box, so we've got 5-on-5 on the flat track. All the action you paid for right here.
T-Rex looking for a spot on the outside. Stashbot 5000 sent to the penalty box. That's going to give T-Rex the opportunity for an advantage here.
Right off the bat, Stashbot picking up a back block penalty, so she's got 30 seconds in the box. T-Rex still looking for that window of opportunity, the crack in the armor between turn number 1 and 2 to get through to pick up that lead jammer status. Arizona's defense locked up tight right now, though, doing an amazing job going from 3 to 2, reforming back to 3 again. We got number 2-1 over there, RC Autobot, leading that 3-point diamond defense on turn number 2 right now. Excellent job of killing that penalty, killing the power jam. T-Rex being locked up the whole time.
Yeah, T-Rex looking for a little bit of support there by number 86, Wax Poetic. Oh, huge hit there on Stashbot 5000.
Wax Poetic with a hip check centered to the infield on that one. Excellent shot. T-Rex working hard to get through, coming around the track. Stashbot 5000 picking up that for that initial pass.
Stashbot 5000 trying keep their wheels on the track, unable to do so at this time. Has to recycle back around. There's the opening. Now she gets through, coming around for 5 points.
Wax Poetic going to pick up a penalty on that one. We went the full 2 minutes on that one, ladies and gentlemen. Another 3 points going up on the board for Arizona. 8-point jam.
Wheelie Nelson donning the star for Minnesota. Number 88, Goldie Loke for Arizona.
Pack advantage going to Arizona. We got one in the box for Minnesota at the start of this jam. Arizona taking full advantage of that as Goldie Loke breaks through to pick up that lead.
Wheelie Nelson looking for that opening, but once again, that front three wall of Arizona not letting anybody through the pack except for their own jammer. There goes Goldie Loke for another 5 points.
Willie Nelson breaking through to get that initial pass out of the way. Number 1, 2, Kapulani Kapuiki in chase. Reforming quickly to get that defense up. 1 point going on the board for Arizona. No points getting picked up by Minnesota on that one.
Number 55, Wilhelm on the jam line for Arizona. Homo Erratic, number 31 with the star for Minnesota. Minnesota has the pack advantage. And so far, Homo Erratic trying to take advantage of that up at the front of the pack, trying to find their way through. But once again, Arizona front blockers saying, not on my watch. Oh, and there comes Homo Erratic getting out. Lead jammer on their initial pass.
We got a star pass going out to number 618 westward. Oh, Arizona. Homo Erratic. Lead jammer knocked to the infield. Puts her hands on her hips, calls off the jam. 3 points getting picked up by Arizona. 3 points getting picked up by Minnesota. Helga Hufflepunk on the line. Arizona rising. That's itches be tripping for Minnesota.
Minnesota once again with the pack advantage. Itches be tripping going up to towards the front of the pack. Olga Hufflepuff in the back of the pack. Nice blocking there by that back three wall of Minnesota. Both jammers still looking for an opening, trying to get out to get that lead jammer status. We got a one-on-one fight there with Itches be tripping at number 12, Kapulani Kawabuki. And there comes Helga Hufflepuff coming out as lead jammer, looking for some points here for Arizona.
Helga Hufflepunk coming out of nowhere, driving right up the center of that one to put 5 points on the board for Arizona rising.
Back at nearly a standstill here coming into turn 4. Both jammers looking for an opening. Nothing happening so far. And there goes number 29 with the star pass. That's Killer Bay.
All right. 4 more points going up on the board for Arizona rising on that one. We got number 511, Wheelie Nelson, donning the star for Minnesota. Nice. That's going to be Stashbot 5000. Arizona rising.
Full contingent of skaters on the track as we get the whistle. And there goes Wheelie Nelson for Minnesota Nice, coming out as lead jammer.
Shooting through on the inside, finding that window left wide open. Wheelie Nelson just powering through that pack right now. Driving through, getting the points, and calling off the jam. 5 big ones going up for Minnesota. That's a full grand slam.
Goldie Loke on the jam line for Arizona. Homo Erratic for Minnesota. Nobody in the penalty box, and here we go.
Full flavored pack on the track. Nobody in the penalty box at the start of this jam. We got Homo Erratic up front trying to get through that free wall that Arizona is throwing down. Finding a win on the inside. Once again, Homo Erratic picking up that lead jammer status. Going up for Minnesota.
Goldie Loke still in the back of the pack looking for that opening. Looking for a teammate for a little bit of help there. And here comes Homo Erratic. 5 points picked up there by number 31 for Minnesota. Goldie Loke still looking for a opening. There comes number 69, Barbell Fett, sending Goldie Loke to the inside. And that gives Homo Erratic a nice big opening there, coming around 5 more points.
Kalaka last line of defense, but got to let her through as she blazes around for that 5-point pass. Homo Erratic getting knocked to the infield. Kalaka's got her number shoulder check right there, sending her in on the turn number 3.
Beautiful hit there by Kalaka, sending Homo Erratic all the way to the back of the pack.
This is a power jam for Homo Erratic. The D's Nuts picked up the star pass on that one, but quickly got a cut track penalty. So for 30 seconds, Homo Erratic's out there to put some points on the board.
Four more points picked up there by Minnesota. That's going to bring them to 35. Arizona's got 93. Just over 9 minutes to go in the first period.
Wheelie Nelson out there for the power start in this jam. Once again, These Nuts going to get the first few seconds out at the start of this jam. Take a little break.
Arizona does have the pack advantage, however, with a blocker in the penalty box.
Wheelie driving it up front. 21, RC Autobot doing an amazing job holding her back. Joined forces by Helen Wheels. Helen Wheels with a big shoulder check, sending Wheelie to the infield. Wheelie forced to recycle behind this pack, looking to get some help from her friends up front. As D's Nuts is released and attacking that Minnesota defense on the south end.
Minnesota saying, not yet. You can't get through that back three wall. Doing a fantastic job keeping D's Nuts at bay. Wheelie Nelson still trying to get up against that front two wall. Looking for that opening. Nice maneuver there by that Arizona front wall coming around. Keeping Wheelie Nelson without anywhere to go.
Wheelie just driving forward, getting knocked to the infield by number 618, Westward Ho. Forced to recycle back. Wheelie with a big shoulder check by number 21, RC Autobot. Sent her down on turn number 3. Quick to get back on her feet, but quick to get knocked back to the infield by RC Autobot. Recycling back, turn number 3.
This is a power jam once again for Wheelie Nelson and the Minnesota Nice. Wheelie Nelson trying to tiptoe there right out of turn 4. Called for a cut track. She's going to get sent to the box, and we have a jammer swap here.
Like the Thunderdome, 2 jammers enter, 1 jammer must leave. That's our penalty box. And that jammer that's leaving is going to be D's Nuts. So at the end of that jam, Wheelie Nelson was in the penalty box, so that means she's going to stay there for the start of the next jam. That's going to give a power start to Arizona. Going to be number 55, Wilhelm.
There is a 4-on-4 pack, so we're all evened up as far as blockers go. Wilhelm on the jam line. There's our whistle. Here we go. Wilhelm trying to find an opening on the outside. Tiptoes along that tape, and there they go. Excuse me. Wilhelm nicely done on the inside. Little apex jump there. Has to go all the way around to the back, however, as they got sent to the outside. Calls off that jam as Minnesota's jammer was coming around.
Arizona picking up 4 points on that one. Knocking at the door of that century mark. Minnesota sitting at 35 right now. Remember, we got the half coming up here just under 6 minutes. Get out into the lobby and pick up some merch from some of these amazing teams. Help support them in their travels. If you're hungry, thirsty, or just craving that snack, we got a snack booth going on over there as well. All right, so stunning change of events. Arizona calling for a late hit penalty on that one in an official review. After assessment, yeah, they determined that it was a late hit, causing that jammer to go to the ground. So Minnesota Jammer is going to start this jam out in the penalty box, and Arizona is going to retain their official review. They win this round. The jammer record on the track for Arizona Rising, Helga Hufflepunk, in a power start.
The pack is moving very quickly off the whistle. Helga Hufflepunk going up against number 86, Wax Poetic, who gets called for a penalty. That gives Helga Hufflepunk the opening here as lead jammer on this power start.
Helga weaving through the pack. 2 blockers left to get by. She takes 1 hit, pushes on through, picks up 5 in the sky for Arizona. With that pass, Arizona's going to break that century mark. And Billy Nelson back out on the track, making short change of that defense as she blazes on through. Helga Hufflepunk seeing that about to happen. She puts her hands on her hips and calls off the jam before any more points get picked up.
Stashbot 5,000 on the jam line for Arizona. Homoerotic donning the star for Minnesota.
And we got 1 blocker in the box for Minnesota. So we're starting out short stacked for the team in blue. Dashbot 5,000 aggressively attacking that pack, looking for the window, pushing on through, picking up that lead.
Homoerotic trying to find an opening, and there she found it, coming around on the outside, getting out on her initial pass. Stashbot 5,000 trying to find an opening, and there it is, just pushing her way through that front 2 wall of Minnesota.
4 big points going up for Arizona. No points going up for Minnesota.
Just under 4 minutes to go in this first half. Arizona leading 111, Minnesota 35. 618 Westward Ho donning the star for Arizona. Number 65 T-Rex for Minnesota. Nice.
T-Rex on the inside line, driving that pack forward, looking for the window of opportunity to get through and pick up that lead. Jammer status, but on the inside line, that's going to be Westward Ho pushing around, picking up that lead.
T-Rex still looking for that opening to come out and get out on there. Her initial pass. Both jammers trying to find an opening. That back 3 wall of Minnesota doing a great job at keeping Westward Ho from getting through. Westward Ho now trying to push their way through that front wall. Nothing happening there, and here comes number 211 Sheen with the star pass.
5 in the sky for Arizona. They call off that. Number 88 on the line for Arizona Rising. That's going to be Goldie Loke facing off against number 989 Inches B Trippin'.
1 blocker in the penalty box for Minnesota. That's going to give Arizona the 4-on-3 pack advantage.
Whistles blown action starts. 88 pushing through. Goldie Loke picking up that lead. Jammer nod. Inches B Trippin' getting locked up tight down here on turn number 1, trying to get around that Arizona defense.
Goldie Loke running right into the back of the 2 back blockers there, but able to make her way through the pack fairly untouched after the fact. Inches B Trippin' putting that star back on her helmet, coming around to the back of the pack. Goldie Loke able to get through 4 more points for Arizona.
Itches be tripping, 2 blockers to get by, and just like that, she's through, picking up 4 big points for Minnesota. Spin to win by Goldie Loke. Pirouette on turn number 3. She puts 4 more on the board, and hot on her heels, Itches be tripping, driving through the pack for 4 more.
Am Weezy doing a great job opening up a big hole there for Goldie Loke, coming around for 5 more points there.
Itches be tripping, got a whole wall she's got to get by on that one. Arizona reforming up front, locking her in tight on turn number 1. 18 points picked up by Arizona on that one. 10 points picked up by Minnesota.
Thimbleberry Slam putting on the star for Minnesota. 55 Wilhelm for Arizona Rising.
Full track as that penalty box is empty. And Wilhelm making short change to that wall. They breeze on through on the inside line, picking that lead jammer nod up for Arizona.
Thimbleberry Slam trying to tiptoe on the inside tape line there, trying to find an opening, going back and forth, left and right. That Arizona 3-wall, 4-wall, really all their blockers up at the front there. Thimbleberry Slam 1-on-1 with number 79, Kalaka. Finally finds that opening, coming around for her initial pass.
Tail and wheels sweeping in with a hip check on that last line of defense. Thimbleberry Slam looking to get through. Picking up a forearm penalty. That means power jam for Arizona and Wilhelm. Wilhelm looking for a window. 2 blockers to get by. 3 make that 3 blockers to get by.
And here comes the blocking contingent for Arizona, trying to open some stuff up there for Wilhelm. Now on the front of the pack, just cutting the edge of that inside line, getting around for another scoring pass. 5 more points picked up by Wilhelm and Arizona Rising.
Big shoulder check there by number 211, Sheen. 4 more points going up on the board for Arizona. And that's the half, ladies and gentlemen. Persuasion. I'm joined by Fatty LaBelle. We're going to be calling the action on the flat track for you this morning here at the Rat's Nest and Shoreline. Jam 1 in the second half. We got Helga Hufflepunk on the line facing off against Homoerotic. Helga Hufflepunk looking for that window on the inside. Blocked off by that Minnesota defense. Finding a line, picking up that lead. Jammer, no, that's going to be Homoerotic, but quickly getting knocked to the infield. She has to recycle back behind the pack. 3-9-4 finding that opportunity on the outside to put that initial pass out of the way, but before picking up any points, the jam has been called off. 0-0 jam number 1. And we got Itches B tripping out there for Minnesota, facing off against Dashbot 5000. Full 5-on-5 on the flat track. Sprinting start by Stashbot, looking for that shot, whole shot on the inside, couldn't find it. Recycles back around, finding a crack in the armor on the outside line for lead. Jammer status, Arizona. Itches B tripping. Held up on that four-wall defense. Make that a three-point defense coming up by Arizona on turn number 2 as Stashbot finds that line on the inside, hop, skip, and a jump to that outside edge to put 5 big points on the board for Arizona. Arizona rising star, 5 more on the board. Dashbot 5000. Three-point defense. Got Itches B tripping, held up tight. Turn number 3, getting a little help from her friends. They try to break up that wall, but quick they are to reform. Coming out on the inside line. That's going to be Pivot donning the star. Killer B, as Killer B breaks through, the jam is called. 4 more points going up for Arizona. I've 1-1. Wheelie Nelson donning the star for Minnesota. Nice. Facing off against number 88, Goldie Loke for Arizona Rising. Clean first few jams here. Nobody in the penalty box at the start. Goldie Loke quickly zigging and zagging through that pack to pick up that lead jammer status. Hot on her wheels though. 5-1-1. Wheelie Nelson. Goldie Loke taking the blows, but breezing through, staying on her feet. Number 86 with a big check on that one. Wax Poetic. 4 points going up on the board for Arizona Rising.
Wheelie Nelson hit to the outside by number 79, Kalakasa. Recycle back around to the back of the pack. Still trying to find that opening. Goldie Loke going to the inside. There she goes, coming around. 5 more points there picked up by Arizona Rising and Goldie Loke. Wheelie Nelson still trying to find that opening in the middle. And there goes Goldie Loke with a little hop, skip, and a jump, picking up 5 more points there.
Loke zigging from the inside to the outside, addressing that Minnesota defense, holding that line by a toe stop. Shoots to the outside. Now she's addressed by one skater only. That's going to be Sheen's. Got to let her go through for 5 big points.
Wheelie Nelson trying to find an opening. Kapolani Kaupuiki saying no way. Captain for Arizona Rising. That's it. 5 more points there for a total of 24 picked up by Arizona. 4 points picked up by Minnesota.
Arizona's iron defense just locking it up tight down here. T-Rex on the line facing off against number 55 Wilhelm.
Full contingent of skaters on the track. Wilhelm trying to go to the inside. T-Rex going to the outside. Both jammers trying to find that opening. Nothing happening so far. And there comes Wilhelm getting that lead at jammer status.
Round and round we go, looking for a window. T-Rex still trying to break on through that Arizona defense. Shoots for a line on the inside. Gets a big shoulder check, but that's a no pass. No penalty back out on the track. 2 blockers left to get by. Number 2-1 last line of defense, RC Autobot.
Wilhelm wide open on the outside of turn 2 there. Coming around, 5 more points. And there comes T-Rex coming out on her initial pass. Wilhelm sees T-Rex coming around, hands on the hips, calling it off. 2 more points there picked up for a total of 7 for Arizona Rising. Helga Hufflepunk on the jam line for Arizona. Homoerotic jamming for Minnesota. Arizona has a blocker in the penalty box. That's going to give Minnesota and Homoerotic the advantage. Homoerotic trying to get through that front 3 wall of Arizona. Now it's just a 1-on-1 with number 79, Kalaka. And there she goes, coming out lead at jammer Minnesota. Helga Hufflepunk also out on her initial pass. Both jammers working their way back towards the pack, coming around here in turn 3. One point there picked up by Minnesota.
Thimbleberry Slam donning the star for Minnesota. Nice. Cashbot 5,000 back on the jam line once again for Arizona Rising. Light pack advantage in favor of Arizona. We got 3 on the floor for Minnesota, 1 in the box. Cashbot 5,000 shoots to the outside, zigs to the end, breaks through to pick up that lead.
Thimbleberry Slam still looking for that opening. Stashbot 5,000 keeping her wheels underneath her, coming around out of turn 2 there. 5 more points picked up by Arizona. Thimbleberry Slam having to go all the way to the back of the pack.
Stashbot running the drill, locking those blockers, getting through to put the points on the board. Thimbleberry Slam looking to get through that defense. 3 blockers left to get by.
Thimbleberry Slam up against the front 2 wall of Arizona there. Looking for a little assistance. And there she got it. Oh, there comes Stashbot 5,000. Wide open hole on that front wall there. Coming around, 5 more points. Oh, no, excuse me. Picked up a penalty there. That's going to give Minnesota power jam here. And there comes Thimbleberry Slam coming around. Excuse me, no, that is number 29. We had a star pass. That's Killer B.
Killer back up against that 3-point defense Arizona's used so well all morning. Locked up tight on turn number 2. Getting a little help from her friends. We got number 6'9" coming up out there. Barbell Fett trying to knock that 3-point defense out.
Stashbot 5,000 back on the track. We have both jammers back on here. She gets knocked to the outside, has to recycle back around, battling up against that back 3 wall of Minnesota.
4 points going up for Minnesota. 4 more going up for Arizona on that one. And with that, Jam Arizona breaks that double century mark. 219 to 57.
Itches be tripping, donning the star for Minnesota. Wilhelm for Arizona Rising. Nobody in the penalty box, so 4-on-4 pack, and here we go. HSB tripping out in front currently, trying to find that opening up against that front three wall that's been working so well for Arizona all day.
HSB tripping up front, pushing that wall out, spreading them thin. One left to get by. Kapulani Kaupuiki, and she is through. Picking up that lead, jammer nod for Minnesota. Nice. HSB tripping.
HSB tripping doing a really good job there. Wow, she just went right through that pack untouched.
That Minnesota offense pushing that defense to the inside or outside, giving HSB tripping the opportunity to breeze through for that 5-point pass. Arizona saying not this time, locking her up tight. 2 skaters left to get by. Kalaka, last line of defense as she spreads out that wall.
Nice way to battle there by HSB tripping. And we have a star pass, number 56, D's nuts for Arizona. HSB tripping, saw that, calls off that jam. 10 points picked up by Minnesota.
10-point jam holding Arizona at 0 on that one. Minnesota taking home the win on that jam. Wheelie Nelson donning the star once again for Minnesota. Helga Hufflepunk back out on the line for Arizona Rising. All right, so that was an official timeout to assess a situation that had to do with the Star Pass for Arizona. Refs all got together, put their minds together to figure out that, yes, it was an illegal Star Pass. So Arizona Jammers are going to start this jam out in the penalty box. And we've got number 511 Wheelie on the line for Minnesota in a power start.
Wheelie Nelson off the jam line really quick there. Fighting back and forth with the front two wall of Arizona. Trying to push them out of play, trying. Now it's just one-on-one with number 21, RC Autobot.
RC Autobot just putting on a blocking drill all day. Amazing force out here. Last line of defense, and if you're going to have a last line of defense, that's the one you want. Still push 511. Pushes her out so far. Wheelie Nelson, that she's got to let her go through. Picking up that lead. Looking to put some points on the board for Minnesota.
Wilhelm, jammer for Arizona, back on the track. Going to the left side, going to the right side. Finding an opening right on the inside line there. They're coming around on their initial pass. And that's when Wheelie Nelson, hands on the hips, calls it off. 5 more points. 5 points picked up there by Minnesota, holding Arizona to 0. Helga Hugglepunk on the jam line for Arizona. Number 31, Homoerotic for Minnesota. Minnesota with the 4-on-3 pack advantage. And Homoerotic takes advantage of that. She comes out as lead jammer.
Homoerotic shooting from the outside to the in, finding a window of opportunity left wide open by Arizona. Picks up that lead. Shoots through to pick up those 4 big points. Looks back and says, let's keep doing this. Going back to pick up some more.
All right, both jammers working their way through the pack right now. Helga Hugglepunk picking up 4 points for Arizona. Homoerotic pushed to the outside, calling it off. 7 points for Minnesota, 4 for Arizona. Just over 16 minutes to go in this final period.
All right, we got number 8-8 on the line. Goldie Loke once again facing off against number 6-5 T-Rex. That is a slight pack advantage in favor of Minnesota. We got one blocker in the box at the start of this jam for Arizona. Goldie Loke getting knocked to the infield quickly, forced to recycle back behind that pack. Up front, T-Rex looking to break through that wall that Arizona's put up.
T-Rex fighting up against the front 3 wall, and here comes Goldie Loke untouched after battling that back 3 wall initially, coming around on her initial pass. Coming back to the pack again, trying to find an opening, goes to the inside, goes to the outside, catches a glancing blow there by number 100. That's Blue Bear, but it doesn't phase Goldie Loke, who's coming around, picking up 5 more points. Goldie Loke once through the pack again. 5 more points there for Arizona.
Minnesota defense on point up front, locked up tight, trying to hold back Goldie Loke. That Arizona Rising offense coming up front. Ooh. Defense, big shoulder check by Kalaka right there. Knocking T-Rex down on turn number 3. 56 coming in. D's Nuts trying to break up that wall. Goldie getting knocked to the outfield, forced to recycle back behind that Minnesota defense.
T-Rex still looking to get past that front 2 wall of Arizona, who's been on a fire with their blocking all day today. Goldie Loke looking for that opening. Couple of nice hits there by 719 Bully Jean and number 100 Blue Bear in that back 2 and 3 wall for Minnesota.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to put your hands together and make some noise for our officials we have out here today. We've got skating refs, non-skating officials. They're doing it all for you on the track. It wouldn't be a game without rules, and that's their job. We got chiropractor, read the rules, aces and skates, bola constrictor, chiropractor again, Amy Farrell Fowler, slash dancer, DeFourier, tenacious D-cup, Gorham Browncope, and Mama Bunny. On the line, that's Stashbot 5000 and Itches B tripping once again. Looks like we had a couple skaters poised and ready to go in that penalty box with a short stack on the track for Arizona, but that's not going to slow down Stashbot as she breaks through for that lead jammer nod.
Itches B driven, able to get out of the pack on her initial pass. Stashbot 5000 with a juke to the outside. Nice maneuver there. She gets knocked all the way, has to recycle all the way to the back of the pack after getting knocked to the outfield. Itches B tripping, able to get through during that skirmish in turn 3, coming around looking for some more points there after picking up 4 on her last go around the track.
RC Autobot coming in like a freight train, taking that whole Minnesota wall down. Unfortunately, on one of those, it was considered a back block, so she's going to go to the box for about 30 seconds. That's Itches B tripping up front with 2 blockers left to get by. Down here on turn number 4, Stashbot 5000 trying to fight her way through that 3-point defense.
Both jammers trying to find their way through, and there comes Itches B tripping, able to push her way past that front 2 wall of Arizona, picking up 4 more points there. 4 more points also for Stashbot 5000.
Those skaters with the stripes, ladies and gentlemen, their names are Andrew, Kieran Duncan, Jamar, Jersey, Harlequin Davidson, McAllister, and Average Joe, your skating officials.
Seems like these 2 jammers have been going up against each other very consistently all day today. We got 31 homoerotic and 55 Wilhelm, who comes out as lead jammer for Arizona Rising.
Wilhelm picking up the lead on this one. Homoeratics down here trying to get through that defense. He finds a window on the outside, breaks away for that initial pass. 5 points going up on the board for Arizona.
Wilhelm sees homoerotic out in front of them, calls off that jam.
About 11 minutes left in this game. Set at 247 Arizona, 87 Minnesota. Donning the star for the team in white, number 511 Wheelie Nelson, facing off against number 394 Helga Hufflepunk for Arizona Rising.
Minnesota's got the pack advantage momentarily. Wheelie Nelson goes from the outside to the inside, wide open hole, comes out, lead jammer Minnesota. Helga Hufflepunk trying to find an opening in the back, but Minnesota's blocker saying no way. Oh, but there is a star pass, and that is going to be number 618 Westward Ho, now donning the star for Arizona.
Wheelie Nelson seeing her come up on her 6, hands on her hips, calls off the jam before any points are picked up by Arizona. 5 in the sky for Minnesota on that one.
Itches B tripping, putting on the star for Arizona. Excuse me, for Minnesota. Stashbot 5000 for Arizona. All right, looks like we just had a points correction there. Quick little official timeout. Now we're back on the track. Jammer swap out for Minnesota. Homoerotic now on with the star for Minnesota. And there goes StatSpot 5000 right through the middle of the pack there, getting out with lead Jammer.
Homoerotic trying to push her way through this pack right now. 3 points up front, holding her back. 2 blockers left to get by. That last blocker, 79, Kalaka. Looks like Kalaka's going to pick up a forearm penalty on that one. Homoerotic's going to break through to get that initial pass out of the way. Dashbot 5000 in the box. That means power jam for Homoerotic.
5 more points there picked up by Homoerotic and the Minnesota Nice. Still on that power jam. 5 more in the sky for Minnesota.
Arizona's defense getting thinned out. Many of them going to the box. And Homoerotic's taking full advantage of that right now, running through this pack and racking up the points. 5 more on the board for Minnesota.
StatSpot 5000 back on the track, taking a beating, however, by Minnesota's defense.
Big hip check. Homoerotic getting sent to the outfield on turn number 1. Arizona's defense locking it up.
Homoerotic getting through one more time, picking up 4 more points this time. Pack moving along really quickly, coming out of turn 2 into turn 3. We've had a little change in the blockers there. Minnesota down a blocker now. Homoerotic having a fantastic jam.
Rolls through that pack backwards on that one, putting another 4 big points on the board. Biggest scoring jam for Minnesota this game. 23 points going up on the board for Minnesota Nice.
Nice. We'll be back after this official review.
Nothing really to review there officially. I mean, that's the official review. It's not really a review. More of a timeout. We're going to get back to the action down here on the flat track. We got number 511, Wheelie Nelson on the line, facing off against Wilhelm. Wilhelm looking for that inside line, but that Minnesota Nice defense has another idea, giving Wheelie Nelson the opportunity to break on through to pick up that lead jammer status. Minnesota Nice.
Wilhelm sent to the inside there by Sheen with a nice hip check. Wheelie Nelson coming into the back of the pack now. Both jammers in the back. Wheelie Nelson seeing a line on the inside, able to keep her skates inside the tape. Coming around for another pass, picking up 5 points there.
And hip check from Colt sending Wheelie Nelson on that inside line, but not quite far enough. So she just rallies around the track, pick up those points. Hands on the hips, 3 more on the board for Minnesota.
And now we see Goldie Loke on the jam line for Arizona, and Itches be trippin' for Minnesota. Minnesota down a blocker, giving Goldie Loke and Arizona Rising the pack advantage. Both jammers hard hitting through the middle of the pack right now, looking for that lead jammer status.
And that's going to be Goldie Loke picking up that lead for Arizona.
Itches be tripping. Got sent to the outside, had to recycle all the way to the back of the pack. Still looking to get out on her initial pass. Arizona sending a blocker to the box. That's going to give Minnesota the pack advantage here. Goldie Loke strolling out of turn 1, looking for some more points with that Arizona pack advantage. Excuse me, that is incorrect. This is the Minnesota pack advantage.
5 points going up for Arizona. No points going up for Minnesota in that jam with just over 5 minutes left in this first game of day 2 here at Rust Riot 2018. We're going to get Helga Hufflepunk back on the line out here for Arizona. She's going to face off against number 6'5" T-Rex for Minnesota Nice. We got a slight pack advantage in favor of Minnesota. We got one blocker in the box for Arizona at the start of this jam.
Helga Hufflepunk taking that inside line, following her blocker to the front of that pack, but she is met by front 2 wall of Minnesota. One blocker to beat. They were out of play, and Helga Hufflepunk is your lead jammer for Arizona Rising.
Wax poetic last spot line of defense on that one. Has to let her go through.
T-Rex sent all the way to the back of the pack by number 17, Don't Blink. Helga Hufflepunk looking for 5 more points, adding to Arizona's lead. Nice little hip check there by Minnesota's number 100, Blue Bear, I believe.
And looks like we've got a star pass out there going to number 211. That's going to be Sheen for Minnesota. Helga Hufflepunk seeing that pass, puts her hands on her hips, calls off the jam, but not before she gets 4 more points on the board for Arizona Rising. Dashbot 5,000 on the line against Homoerotic. Short stacked on the track on both sides. One blocker from each team in the penalty box at the start of this. Big shoulder check. Minnesota number 29, Killer B, knocking Dashbot 5,000 to the infield. That's going to give Homoerotic the opportunity to find a window on the inside line to pick up that lead jammer nod.
Homoerotic gotten that lead jammer nod, looking for some points coming into the back of the pack. Dashbot 5,000 also out on her initial pass. Diving down low, looking for an opening. But there's number 79. Not 79. 29. Killer B.
Five big points going up for Minnesota Nice. Round and round they go. Where they stop? Well, Arizona's got an idea. They got a 3-point defense down here on turn number 1. That diamond's locking them in tight. We got a star pass. Westward Ho picking up those 3 big points. Hands on her hips. Homoerotic says that is enough, putting 4 more on the board for a 13-point jam for Minnesota.
Wheelie Nelson on the jam line for Minnesota. Number 88, Goldie Loke for Arizona. One blocker in the penalty box for Minnesota, giving Arizona the pack advantage.
Wheelie sprinting on the inside, trying to find that window, getting shut down up front by number 12. Kapulani Kapuiki, 67, joined forces. Helen Wheels locking her in tight up front. On the backside, 3 Minnesota defense blockers holding back Goldie Loke. Goldie Loke going to the outfield. 1 blocker left up front on turn number 3. Wheelie trying to get through, and she does just that, picking up that lead. Jammer status, 34 seconds into the jam for Minnesota.
Goldie Loke in the back of the pack, looking for that opening, looking for some help from her teammates. And here comes Wheelie Nelson through for 5 points for Minnesota.
Wheelie Nelson trying to hold on to this momentum. Stymied between turn 3 and 4 down here. 4-point defense locked up tight. Slowing that momentum down. Wheelie still looking to get a footing and get some more points on the board before the period clock comes to an end.
Wheelie Nelson up in the front there. 1 blocker to beat, able to do so. 5 more points picked up there by Minnesota. Now we have a star pass. That's number 56, D's Nuts, now jamming for Arizona. Wheelie Nelson back in the middle of the pack once again. 2 skaters to beat. Can't quite get through. Falling off that jam. 2 more points picked up by Minnesota there. That's going to bring them to 12.
And that concludes this first game of day 2. Unofficial final score. We're going to dot some I's and cross some T's, but we got 271 Arizona, 147 Minnesota. All right, that's it, ladies and gentlemen. The official final score: Arizona, Minnesota. Arizona 271.
192, Stranger. 253, and Smash Away. Number 31, Chantilly Cream. Number 33, Renegade Ruthie. Number 38, Kendra Hertz. 50, Brute Champagne. 513, Morgan McSlay. 5150, Mad Medic. 574, Wyote. And number 81, Ponyo Knees. That is your reign of terror. I am Fatty LaBelle, and I am met here with the amazing
Mad Statter. So happy to be here today. I'm so glad y'all are with us. I'm thinking we're about ready to get started in about 5 seconds or so. See, I told you, about 5 seconds or so.
Genius.
All right, we have got number 513, Morgan McSlay, wearing the star for Rat City. Evan Helical wearing the star for Rose.
Evan Helical in the back of the pack right now, working up against that back three wall of Reign of Terror. Morgan McSlay also looking for her way out of the front of the pack. Oh, and here comes Evan Helical as your lead jammer, Rose City.
Rose City losing a blocker to the box for a forearm call means it's one less body for Morgan McSlay to pass on that initial pass. Having done that, she's thinking about putting points on the board. Rose City, wise to this plan, decides to call it off.
Beautiful hit there, hip check to the infield by Brute Champagne, forcing Rose City to call that one off.
After a little bit of discussion, it has been determined 3 points on the board for Rose City. Rat City held to 0.
All right, up next we got number 16, Beyond Thunder Dame for the Axles of Annihilation, taking on Bento Boxer, donning the star for Rat City.
3-4 pack advantage in favor of Rat City, but you would not know that from the slow motion this pack is doing. Both jammers just struggling behind a wall of bodies to get through. Both blocking teams doing their best. Rose City losing another blocker to the penalty box for a clockwise direction of gameplay call.
Bento Boxer still not reaching turn one yet. Stuck behind that 2, now 3 wall from the Axles of Annihilation. But here comes Beyond Thunder Dame getting lead jammer for Rose City.
All right, we have a star pass, Cinnamon Slam, now your jammer of record for Rat City. Looking to hit the back of the pack real quick, but Beyond Thunder Dame, wise to that plan, calls it off. 3 more points on the board for Rose City. Tegan and Scaria wearing the star for the Axles Annihilation.
Morgan McSlay donning the star once again for your Reign of Terror.
3-4 pack advantage once again in favor of Rat City. It looks like, oh, whoa, that's Mad Medic wearing the star for Rat City. I thought it was 513 as well. Nope, we're talking Mad Medic. 5150
Really
wearing
good at
the
hiding.
star.
Really good at hiding those last 2 numbers from us.
I actually thought it was Morgan McSlay too.
And here comes Mad Medic, lead jammer for Rat City.
Oh, it is a foot race to the back of that pack. Pack was speeding up and slowed down and now speeds up again. Mad Medic hitting the pack, decides to call it off. I'm thinking we've got points on the board. Rat City gets 1, but Rose gets 3.
That does get Rat onto the board with 1. Rose City tripling up their score to 9 now.
I have a feeling this might be a nickel and dime kind of jam per jam situation, but I've seen some pretty big points coming out of those nickel and diamond games.
Renegade Ruthie on the jam line for Rat City.
I'm going out on a limb and saying, oh, it's Ovarian Barbarian wearing the star for Rose. Ovarian Barbarian bop to the outside, forced to recycle back into that scrum. Inside line open, Renegade Ruthie gets lead jammer status for Rat City.
Ovarian Barbarian sent to the infield, has to recycle all the way around to the back of the pack. Now both jammers fighting their way through the middle scrum right there. Ovarian Barbarian, one skater to beat.
All right, Ovarian Barbarian with that star stash made their way through, but boom, Rat City calls it off before Rose was able to draw any blood. 4 points on the board for the team in white.
Number 44, Evergreen Jean on the jam line for Rat City. Number 12, Shenanigans on the track for Axles of Annihilation.
Penalty box is empty, which means a full 5-on-5 on the track. Of course, as soon as I say that, I hear a whistle, which means somebody might be sent to the box real soon.
What a spin move there, 360 by Shenanigans, coming out as your lead jammer.
Multiplayer block sending a Rat City blocker to that box. Another blocker peeling off to visit that box as well. Rose City calls it off.
What a hit by Cinnamon Slam, sending Shenanigans to the concrete. Forcing Shenanigans to call that one off. Evan Helical donning the star for Rose City. Morgan McSlay on the jam line for Rat.
2-4 pack advantage, it looks like, in favor of Rose City. This might make the job a little easier, or a lot easier, for Evan Helical to get lead jammer status. Rose City currently holding that status.
Morgan McSlay looking for that opening up against the front three wall of Rose City. All the meanwhile, Evan Helical going right through untouched. Second time untouched. That's 5 more points are picked up by the Axles of Annihilation and Evan Helical.
I think Evan Helical's got her own secret tunnel through the pack. 5 more points, 3rd scoring pass, and she's thinking about going in for a 4th scoring pass. Triforce of White waiting for her.
One-on-one now. Oh, with a little juke to the inside, going to the outside. Evan Helical, 5 more points picking up there for Rose City. Things are slowing down to a crawl now, coming into turn 3. Big pile up there in turn 3. Evan Helical putting on her own huge hit there to number 31.
Phenomenal work to take advantage of that power jam. Evan Helical put 20 points on the board before Seattle's jammer was released from the box. Now Morgan McSlay is fighting against a 3-wall of purple to complete this pass. Oh, excellent help from Wyote to help bust up that wall of purple to get Morgan McSlay through off the initial pass.
"24 points there by Rose City, extending their lead to 37. Rat City 5.
Back on the line again, we have Mad Medic for Rat City up against Beyond Thunder Dame.
Nobody in the penalty box this time, so we have a full contingent of skaters on the concrete. Things moving very slowly right off the bat here. Both jammers looking for an opening, and there goes Mad Medic getting that lead jammer status for your reign of terror.
I've been watching Mad Medic since she was a junior skater before she aged up, and this is very consistent with what I know of her abilities. She is a tough jammer, a hard one to block.
Beyond Thunder Dame able to get out in second position.
Mad Medic very much aware of where Thunder Dame was coming in. Decides to call it off. 4 points on the board, holding Rose to 0.
Renegade Ruthie with the star for Reign of Terror. Number 424, Tegan and Scaria for Rose City. Axles of Annihilation. Rat City has the blocker advantage.
Renegade Ruthie fighting at the front of the pack against the 3-wall of purple. Unable to get any help from her Seattle blockers because they're busy trying to hold back Tegan and Scaria. Tegan and Scaria sent to the penalty box. We now are looking at a power jam for Renegade Ruthie.
Renegade Ruthie shoved to the outfield, trying to beat this last 2-wall up front by Rose City. Oh, a couple of skaters taking a knee. Oh, one more skater to beat. Tiptoeing on the tape, getting around for a scoring pass.
Yeah, it was beautiful. Katie Quick was like, I'm still in play. My hips know how to work. Let's just slow her down a little bit.
Renegade Ruthie working her way through the middle of the pack once again on this next scoring pass. 3 skaters to beat on the front. Power jam is now over as number 424, Tegan and Scaria, back on the track. Tegan and Scaria going around, looking for those points, and Renegade Ruthie sees her going around, calling it off.
So close to passing that hit, but that 4th whistle blew right before points were able to be scored. 5 points for Rat City, bringing them up to 14 points this game so far. Rose City sitting at 37. We've got a little bit less than 20 minutes left in this first half.
Ovarian Barbarian donning the purple star. Number 127, Bento Boxer for Reign of Terror. Reign of Terror down a blocker. That's going to give Ovarian Barbarian an advantage here. And she takes advantage of that, coming out as lead jammer.
Phenomenal work by Rat City, trying to bust up that wall of purple to get their jammer through.
Nicely done by Carolina there, having to take that Rose City jammer all the way, recycle around to the back of the pack.
Cinnamon Slam from the penalty box, helping out her Rat City blockers. Carolina doing her best to help bust up the wall, but alas, Ovarian Barbarian through for another 5 points.
Carolina, the last one to beat there. Oh, she gets some help there by her teammate, but Ovarian Barbarian able to pick up 5 more points, fighting her way through the front of that pack.
Bento Boxer still struggling in corner 1 to complete that initial pass. And it looks like we've got a new jammer of record, Brute Champagne, wearing the star for Reign of Terror.
And that is a Reign of Terror timeout.
That was a 20-point jam for Rose City. I think that timeout might be a good plan. Let's regroup, fine-tune our strategy. Well, not our strategy, their strategy.
I'd like to take this short break to thank our officials, our non-skating officials, Gorham Browncoat, 9-inch Wheels, Tenacious D Cup, Betty Clocker, Queen of Catitude, Aces and Skates, India Pale Owl, Doof Warrior, Wizard of Laws, Read the Rules. And our skating officials, Umpire Strikes Back, Genetic Disorder, ATG, Brando Carlisian, Dilly Gaff, Star Stash, and Lobo Cop. Thank you to our officials and non-skating officials.
Evergreen Jean, once again, wearing the star for Reign of Terror. Shenanigans, wearing the star for Rose City. Shenanigans at the front of the pack, almost getting through, but cut call sends them to the box, which means it is a power jam for Evergreen Jean. Rose City losing a blocker to the box means one less blocker for Evergreen Gene to get past for the initial pass.
Rat City also gaining Carolina off the bench. And there goes Evergreen Gene getting that lead jammer status on this now a Reign of Terror Power Jam.
Not just a power jam with quite a few Rose City blockers in the box. This is a momentum shift that Rat City has got to be loving. 5 points on the board, and it's looking like we might get another scoring pass under Evergreen Gene's belt.
Shenanigans out of the box, battling that back three wall, trying to find a way through, pushing, pulling, going back, going forth, looking for the tiniest of openings. And there it is. Shenanigans getting through.
Chantilly Cream did not want to let her go, though. 5 more points on the board for Evergreen Gene. That was a 10-point jam for Rat City, bringing them up to 24 points. We can do that again. We are looking at a serious matchup. 5-1-3 is Morgan McSlay, and it looks like Evangelical is lead jammer for Rose City.
Morgan McSlay coming right out of turn 2, met by that front three wall of Rose City that's been pretty much on fire all day today. Evangelical stuck behind that back three wall of Rat City. Nicely done blocking right there.
Phenomenal blocking by Brute Champagne and by Strange Her. Definitely a strong wall of white that was difficult to get through. But Evangelical made the most of it. 5 more points on the board for Rose City.
Oh, a beautiful apex jump there, and calling it off simultaneously is Evangelical and the Reign of Terror. 4 more points picked up there for a total of 9 on that last jam by Rose City.
Wait, isn't Evangelical on Axles of Annihilation?
Yes. Yes, you're absolutely right.
I hate it when I do that. You know, that super awesome skater. Who cares what team she's on? She's just awesome. All right, we've got Mad Medic up against Beyond Thunder Dame. 1 blocker in the box for Rose City means Mad Medic has 1 less set of hips to pass to get lead jammer status. And that's exactly what she did.
Beyond Thunder Dame also out of the pack on her initial pass. Mad Medic looking for that opening. Pack is moving extremely fast coming out of turn 1 there. And Mad Medic gets through pretty much untouched, calls it off. 4 points. Rat City, Reign of Terror.
Wow, that was a thing of beauty. Mad Medic was just dodging and weaving and just, oh, nobody was able to touch her. All right, we've got Evergreen Gene once again skating up against Tegan and Scaria.
Evergreen Gene, Tegan and Scaria. Evergreen Gene out first. Lead jammer, Reign of Terror.
Wow, that outside lane was just wide open. I think they forgot it was there. Evergreen Gene remembered, though.
And now on the inside, another wide open hole there coming out of turn 1 for Evergreen Gene.
5 points on the board for Rat City, and we're looking to put some more. Oh, bop to the outside, and corner 2, force recycle all the way back. Evergreen Gene at the back of the pack now. Tegan and Scaria through on the initial pass. Three more points for Rat City, bringing them up to 36. Rose City at 67. Looks like we've got a timeout for Rose City.
All right, and here we go once again. 3408, Ovarian Barbarian jamming for Axles of Annihilation. Renegade Ruthie for your Reign of Terror. And here comes the Ovarian Barbarian getting that lead jammer status with a nice big opening coming out of turn 1.
Stuck behind a Triforce of Purple in corner 2. Renegade Ruthie finally busts through. That initial pass completed. Hoping to put some points on the board, but Ovarian Barbarians wise to that plan. 4 points on the board for Rose City, holding Rat to 0.
Nice move by Renegade Ruthie there, basically just stepping to the side and letting that Triforce just fall out of her way.
Like she had physics on her mind.
Physics. It works. Science. All right, number 12, Shenanigans on the jam line for Rose City. Number 513, Morgan McSlay for your Reign of Terror.
Shenanigans able to make it through. Just, I think physics was on their side as well. That wall just collapsed and boom, Shenanigans through for the lead jammer status. And now, first scoring pass, decides to call it off. I think we've got 4 points on the board for the team in purple.
Well, they definitely saw Morgan McSlay coming up to the back of that pack right quick. Knew they had to call it off. Now we got Mad Medic on the jam line for Rat City. Number 316, Evangelical for the Axles of Annihilation. Nobody in the penalty box, so a full contingent of skaters on the concrete.
All right, each jammer just taking off like a rocket off that jam line. Evangelical fighting against a wall of 3 at the back of the pack. Mad Medic busting up against a wall of purple at the front of the pack. Giraffe just not wanting to let her go, but looks like getting called for either a forearm or a multiplayer. Didn't quite catch that call, so one less body for Mad Medic to have to get through.
Mad Medic almost had an opening there, but nice hit to knock her to the inside, making her retract all the way to the back of the pack. Evangelical able to get out of the pack. However, she is in second position. Your lead jammer, Mad Medic, calls it off. 1 point picked up by Rose City.
I think we've seen this matchup before. Evergreen Team skating up against the On Thunder Game. Riding that inside line with an easy peasy pirouette. Beyond Thunder Dame, lead jammer for Rose City.
Evergreen Jean also out on her initial pass. Trying to pick up a point there, but the jam's called off. 3 for Rose. Not able to be picked up there by Rat City.
Ovarian Barbarian for Axles of Annihilation. Skating up against McSlay for Reign of Terror. Seattle's got 1 blocker in the box.
And there they go, and Ovarian Barbarian out of the pack really quickly there, coming out before turn 1. Looking to pick up some more points there for Rose City, Axles of Annihilation.
It was almost like she apparated at the front to the front of the pack. All right, we have got ourselves a star pass for Reign of Terror. Brute Champagne, now your jammer of record. Was Reign of Terror able to get any points? Nope, not this time, but 5 points on the board for Rose City.
Renegade Ruthie donning the star for the Reign of Terror. Shenanigans for the Axles of Annihilation.
3-4 pack advantage in favor of Rose City. At least for the next 10 seconds or so.
Shenanigans go to the inside. Renegade Ruthie going to the outside, and it's Shenanigans out first, getting your lead jammer status for Rose City, but here comes Renegade Ruthie also out of the pack in second position. One skater to beat there for Shenanigans. They're able to do so, calls off that jam.
Evangelical being the star for Rose City. Mad Medic being the star for Rat City. Got an empty penalty box, I believe. So everybody gets to play this game. Oh, that inside line, barely open, holding that line beautifully to get lead jammer status. Mad Medic is ready to put some points on the board for her team in white.
Chantilly Cream doing her best to hold Rose City's jammer there at bay. That's Evangelical. Both jammers go on a one-on-one now.
That was a foot race between those jammers. Mad Medic decided, let's just maybe call this one off.
Both jammers there picking up 4 points. That's going to extend the Rose City lead to 92, Rat City's 40. Just under 6.5 minutes to go into this first half.
Evergreen Jean behind the jammer line for Rose City, Rat City. Beyond Thunderdame for Rose.
Things moving slowly right off the first whistle there. Beyond Thunderdame towards the front of the pack, going up against that 3-wall of Rat City. Working hard. Now it's almost just a one-on-one with number 192, Stranger.
All right, Beyond Thunderdame got busted through that pack first, so lead jammer status, Rose City. Evergreen Jean still struggling to get past that wall of purple at front. Open lane on the inside means 5 points on the board, thanks to Beyond Thunderdame.
Rat City down 2 blockers, giving Rose City the 3-on-2 pack advantage for the time being.
Rosemary's Baby and Shallon Spocker are just all over Evergreen Jean like stink on a wrist guard.
Evergreen Jean keeps going back and forth, left, right, trying to find that opening, but that front 2-wall of Rose City not letting her through until does a little side duck out and then comes back in, able to get around, but that is called off by Beyond Thunderdame.
14-point jam for Rose City brings them past the century mark. Rat City still holding at 40 points. We've got about 4.5 minutes left in this first half. Looks like Morgan McSlay is up against Ovarian Barbarian. Three-four pack advantage in favor of Rat City might make things a little easier for Morgan McSlay, but the defense Rose has been putting up these days, who knows? In fact, Ovarian Barbarian, that's okay. She can get past 4 bodies for lead jammer status. It's exactly what she did.
Morgan McSlay so close to being knocked out of play there, coming into turn 2, able to keep her wheels within the tape there, but as she came to the back of the pack, Ovarian Barbarian forced to call off that jam. 3 points picked up by Rose City there. Number 5150, Mad Medic on the jam line for your Reign of Terror. Number 12, Shenanigans for the Axles of Annihilation.
Shenanigans taking that inside line, hoping to hold it, but gets bopped to the infield, forced to recycle all the way back behind Ponyo, Knees, and Stranger. Mad Medic also taking that inside line, but struggling to get past that wall of purple at the front of the pack. Excellent bridging work by Hounds of Bad Askerville.
Shenanigans stuck in the back of the pack, still trying to get past that back to wall of Rat City, forced to recycle all the way back past turn 1.
Everybody's on the floor after that blocking maneuver. Everybody recycled back to the back of that pack. Shenanigans just held at a standstill. Mad Medic also held at that apex between corners 1 and 2. Finally, Shenanigans is able to make their way out of the pack. Lead jammer status for Rose City.
Beautiful move there, spinning around, skating backwards. Shenanigans goes through nearly untouched out of turn 2 there. Mad Medic still trying to get out of the pack, going up against the fabulous blocking of Rose City so far this first half. Back at nearly a standstill.
Yeah, that Triforce being supported by Rosemary's Baby is just solid and immovable at this point. Katie Quick and Hounds of Bad Askerville also part of that Triforce, giving Medic a big ol' headache. I believe that was a high block call for one of the Rat City blockers, sent him to the penalty box. Means one less set of hips that Shenanigans has to pass.
That jam goes the full 2 minutes. 10 more points picked up by Rose City.
All right, I am seeing a cut call on the Rat City Jammer, which means Mad Medic is going to be starting that next jam in the penalty box, if I'm not mistaken. I might be, though, because I've got a host of bodies in my way, and I can't quite see what I think I thought I saw.
All right, and here we go. Evan Helical on the jam line for Rose City on this power start. A little juke to the left, juke to the right, busting through the middle of that pack, coming around, gaining that status as lead jammer.
So she's got 30 seconds
Whoa.
to, unopposed by another jammer, get points on the board. But boy, oh boy, that was a great chest block by Rat City's blocker. I believe that was Chantilly Cream who gave that chest block.
That was. And then a very nice maneuver there by the Rose City blocker to come all the way back to turn 4. That gives Evan Helical a chance to come back around and get to the middle of the pack.
All right, Medic has been released from the box, hit the back of the pack, super quick, wove her way through on the initial pass. Now we are looking at a scoring pass and a power jam. I believe Evan Helical was sent to the box for a cut call. Not exactly sure what the call was, but I do know that she ended in the box. 5 points on the board for Rat City thanks to Mad Medic. Rose City sitting at 9 points so far, but they're jammers in the box, and Mad Medic's about ready to put points on the board one more time. 5 more points, Rat City.
Yeah, this Rat City Power Jam brought to you by Cut Track by Evan Helical, who's now back in the scrum right in the middle of the pack right now. Both jammers now going up against the blocking contingent of each team. Evan Helical in the front of the pack. 3 blockers to beat. Here comes Mad Medic staying on one skate all the way around out of turn 4.
Toxic Haste did not want to let her go. Whoa, riding that outside line. I'm thinking it looks like it was good. Someone's getting called on a low block, though. I'm thinking it's a Rose City blocker. not the jammer for Rat.
And with that, brings us to halftime. That last jam, Rat City picking up 19 points. Rose City 13. Score at halftime.
2018 Rust Riot. Going into the second half, it looks like we've got some penalty troubles for Rose City and maybe Rat City too. A couple skaters from Rose City are sitting on 5. A couple skaters from Rat City are sitting on 4. Hopefully, they will not take it to the limit and they will not get fouled out, but we will see in the next 30 minutes.
All right, for this first jam of the second half, number 16, Beyond Thunderdame jamming for Rose City, and that's number 44, Evergreen Jean for your Rat City Reign of Terror.
2-4 pack advantage in favor of Rat City. That means Beyond Thunderdame has got a big old job, but it doesn't matter because Beyond Thunderdame's getting sent to that penalty box. It is a power jam for Evergreen Jean.
Big advantage for Reign of Terror here. Evergreen Jean going through, met up by one skater at the front there. That's 777 Rosemary's Baby. At number 31, Toxic Haste. Evergreen Jean able to fight her way through. Picking up 5 points there. Looking for more. Oh, going to the right, going to the left, to the inside. Untouched. 5 more points there for Rat City.
Phenomenal work by those Rat City blockers. So just opening up both lanes, inside, outside, which you want to take. We got both of them open for you. All right, that rolling whistle means we are about ready to start again. We've got a new matchup. Ovarian Barbarian up against Mad Medic. I don't think I've seen those two jammers on the line at the same time yet this game.
I think you are right there. Also, nobody in the penalty box. And here comes Ovarian Barbarian coming out as lead jammer for Rose City, but not too late. Here is Mad Medic also out of the pack in second position. Ovarian Barbarian sees Mad Medic coming up to the back of the plaque. I can't talk. Pack. Ovarian Barbarian able to pick up 2 points before calling off that jam.
I think I saw a thumb. I'm going to say it was 3 points, but Rat City was held to 0, so 3 points to Rose City, bringing them to 135.
Morgan McSlay on the jam line for Rat City. Number 4-2 Tegan and Scaria for Rose City. Morgan McSlay out first as lead jammer. Already coming to the back of the pack once again. Met up by that back 3 wall. She's fighting her way through.
Tegan and Scaria finally threw on the initial pass. Morgan McSlay, very much aware of that, decides to call it off. 4 points, Rat City. Rose City 0 for this jam. Shenanigans wearing the star for Rose City up against Renegade Ruthie for a Rat.
Rat City going to have the 4-on-3 pack advantage moving into this next jam, as Rose City is one of their blockers in the penalty box for the near future, at least.
Wow, that inside line was wide open. Renegade Ruthie knew what to do, took advantage of it. Lead jam status for a Rat City.
Shenanigans screaming around the track. Renegade Ruthie able to pick up Shenanigans, though, calling off that jam. 4 points there picked up by Rat City. Shenanigans able to pick up 1.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. Shenanigans hit the back of that pack cleanly, but with such speed, they definitely passed a set of hips.
Next up, we have 3-1-6 Evan Helical jamming for Rose City. Evergreen Jean for Rat City.
Evan Helical gets that lead jammer status. Looks like she's fiddling with her makeup as she's going through. I guess that was an easy pass. Or at least made it look easy.
At this level, they all make it look easy.
Exactly, exactly. And none of it is easy. That's right, 5 points on the board for Rose City. Evergreen Jean still struggling to get past that corner one. But a 3-wall of purple at the back of the pack is just keeping her from getting through. Stuck in corner one for the last minute.
Got a pile up coming out of turn one there. Evan Helical looking for a spot. She's sent to the infield, has to recycle all the way back around to turn one into the back of that Rat City 3-wall. Evergreen Jean in second position, but able to get out, and Evan Helical calls off that jam before Evergreen Jean could pick up any points. 5 more for Rose City, totaling 10 on that last jam.
Ovarian Barbarian up against Bento Boxer. I'm not sure we've seen this matchup yet today. I admit my memory is that of a gnat, so I could be wrong.
Go ahead and say you're right, because I haven't seen it either.
Excellent. Let's do that.
All right, and here they go, and right out of the box, Ovarian Barbarian getting that lead jammer status for the Axis of Annihilation.
Oh, wow. Just busted through that wall of white in back, but alas, looks as though it was a penalty bust. Ovarian Barbarian now sitting in the box. It is a power jam for Bento Boxer. Let's see what they will do with this power jam for the next 30 seconds.
One skater to beat right there. Oh, a huge hit there in turn one. Just keeps sternum checking Bento Boxer.
That was relentless.
That was Rosemary's Baby. She just was ruthless on Bento Boxer, but ended up picking up a penalty there, having to get sent off the track. Bento Boxer still trying to find that opening. There it is. Bento Boxer in the second position, putting that star back on their helmet.
All right, we've got another cut for Ovarian Barbarian, giving Bento Boxer another 30 seconds to rack some points on the board unopposed.
Jalen Spocker there, nice hit to the outside, causing Bento Boxer to have to recycle all the way to the back of the pack. Bento Boxer found some room to work their way up to the front of the pack once again.
Until Toxic Haste and Rosemary Baby got in the way.
And there goes Bento Boxer. 5 points there picked up by Rat City.
That was a hard-earned 5 points, let me tell you. All right, Rose City's jammer back out of the box. It is no longer a power jam for Bento. Both jammers attempting to pass those hips to put points on the board. Looks like it's a 7-point jam for Rat City. 3-point jam for Rose.
Tegan and Scary on the jam line for the Axles of Annihilation. Mad Medic on the jam line for your Reign of Terror. Mad Medic off the jam line first, working our way up to the front of the pack.
Looks like that was a cut call, and I gotta say, even from my angle, that was a good call, ref. Yep, that happened. So we are looking at Tegan and Scaria with a lead jammer status in a power jam, while Mad Medic sits and thinks about what she's done.
Root Champagne with a glancing blow there, but that does not slow down Tegan and Scaria. Able to get through the middle of that pack in turn one. Wide open, barely touched for another 5 points by Tegan and Scaria and the Axles of Annihilation.
Yeah, Carolina tried to throw a shoulder check, but didn't even slow down Tegan and Scaria. All right, we've got, I believe, a back block call for Tegan and Scaria, losing lead jammer status. This jam's going to go for a full 2 minutes. Mad Medic is out of that box and thinking about putting some points on the board.
All right, Mad Medic working up against that front Triforce of Rose City. He goes to the outside, then to the inside. Big hole on the inside of turn 2 there. There we go. 5 points picked up by Rat City.
That's a great penalty kill by Rose City. Only one scoring pass available to Mad Medic before Tegan was released from the box. One last line of defense. Toxic Haste just giving Mad Medic a big ol' headache. 4 more points on the board for Rat City, bringing them to 9 points this jam.
Tegan and Scaria able to work her way through the inside corner of turn 3, picking up 4 more points. Mad Medic picking up.
I'm going to say 1, but I also know that I wasn't at the right angle to make that judgment call. I mean, it was last second kind of passing hips. Last millisecond.
That's why the important people wear the stripes.
Exactly. And that's why the people that you're listening to drink the beer.
All right, there's our whistle. 5-1-3, Morgan McSlay on the jam line for Rat City. Number 12, Shenanigans for Rose City. Shenanigans stuck in the very back of the pack, trying to get past that back 3 wall. They are able to, coming out of turn 1, gets that lead at jammer status.
Oh, about a quarter track back, though. Morgan McSlay hot on their heels, looking to get the back of that pack and pass some purple hips. Oh, but Shenanigans was wise to that plan, decides to call it off. We've got a bit of a equipment kerfuffle here. All the action going in on the outside lane. All right, it is an official review. I'm thinking Rat City called it. As soon as we find out what this official review is about, we will let you know. Oftentimes, I like to pretend I know and hypothesize what I think it is, but I can truly tell you I have no idea. Have an idea?
I do not have any idea about anything.
Awesome. We are on the same page.
Yes. Star Stash getting a little bit of medical attention after that pile up here right at the announcer's booth. Thank you, medics, for being here, both for our skaters and our officials.
We literally could not put this tournament on without you. So yes, thank you so much, medics, for taking the time out of your weekend to help us put on this awesome derby show. All right, I don't know what that official review was about, but I'm guessing the no call stands since nobody got sent to that penalty box. We are back with action on the track. Evangelical currently with lead jammer status up against Renegade Ruthie, who's thinking about hitting the back of that pack and passing some purple hips to put some points on the board.
Evangelical, great track awareness, knowing exactly where she's at, where Renegade Ruthie was at, calling off that jam. 4 points picked up for Rose City, 1 for Rat. That's going to bring Rat City to 88, Rose City to 168. Just under 19 minutes to go in this final half of the last bout of the 2018 Rust Riot.
All right, Evergreen Jean skating up against Ovarian Barbarian. Empty penalty box means both jammers have their work cut out for them. Oh my, looks like that middle lane was wide open. And Evergreen Jean was taking it until Ovarian Barbarian decided to take it.
Teagan Scaria on the jam line for Rose City. Mad Medic on the jam line for Rat. And there's a lead jammer status for Mad Medic. Both jammers out. Mad Medic calling it off.
Yeah, when it's that close, might as well call it off. What are you going to do? Match zeros or match fours? Same diff. Save your energy. We'll get them next time. Morgan McSlay up against Shenanigans. Empty penalty box still.
Once again, full contingent of skaters on the concrete. There's the whistle. Here we go. Morgan McSlay out in front first. But here comes Shenanigans getting that lead jammer status for Rose City.
Absolutely. It was an inside job for Drone or Shenanigans to get through for that initial. Yeah, this is actually Shenanigans, not Drone, with lead jammer status. And it's a power jam situation because Morgan McSlay did a cut and got sent to the penalty box.
Oh, Shenanigans, 2 skaters to beat up at the front there. I don't know how they were able to keep their skates on the track, but they did. Shenanigans lead jammer, 5 more points picked up there. Morgan McSlay out of the penalty box, so we have both jammers on the track once again. Morgan McSlay in the middle of the fracas, right in the middle. They're able to push her way out, gaining a few points. Oh no, that was her initial pass, so no points picked up there. 4 more picked up by Shenanigans in Rose City.
That's a 14-point jam for Rose City thanks to Shenanigans. Holding Rat City to 0. Rose City sitting at 182. Rat City at 88. We have got Evergreen Jean. Excuse me, no we do not. We have got Renegade Ruthie wearing the star for Rat City up against Beyond Thunder Dame.
And there comes Beyond Thunder Dame, lead jammer for Rose City, coming around looking for some points. 3 blockers in the back for Rat City. Beyond Thunder Dame slowed down a bit there by that back 3 wall. Able to push her way through. Ooh, Evergreen Jean. Renegade Ruthie.
Oh, I jinxed you. Yeah, sorry about that.
Able to keep her skates in the track because the other blocker for Rose City went out of bounds. Beyond Thunder Dame keeping a sharp eye on Renegade Ruthie, calling it off before any points can be scored or more points can be picked up there by Rat City.
All right, Rat City is knocking on the century mark, sitting at 90 points. Rose City at 186. We've got about little less than 15 minutes left in this game. Finally, we've got Evergreen Jean, the one we've been talking about, on the floor wearing the star up against Evangelical.
And there comes Evan Helical out first as lead jammer, but Evergreen Gene is out as well. Both jammers looking for those points. Evergreen Gene in that lead jammer status, Evan Helical in that lead jammer status for Rose City in the middle of the pack, looking for a hole. Kendra Hertz just getting right in the way.
Yeah, I was actually wondering if there was going to be some sort of call based on the contact that I thought maybe happened with skates and things, but it turns out there maybe wasn't, and thank goodness for that, because it would have been painful. That was a textbook tumble.
Mad Medic on the jam line for Rat City. Ovarian Barbarian out first for Rose City, getting that lead jammer status already to the back of the pack once again, trying to go to the inside. Beautiful hit there by Wyote.
Wyote,
yes.
yeah, just not letting Ovarian Barbarian through without a fight. Mad Medic still struggling against a 4-wall of purple, but you can't blame her because 2 of her blockers are sitting in the box, so she is fighting the good fight for Rat City all by herself. 5 points on the board for Rose City, thanks to Ovarian Barbarian. Bringing them up to 198, knocking on that double century mark there, the team in purple is. All right, we've got our new jammer of record, Cinnamon Slam, wearing the star for Rat City.
5 more points picked up there by Rose City. That's going to bring their total for that jam up to 15. And they break the 200-point mark, getting up to 203. Rat City still knocking on that century mark with 90.
Let's see if Morgan McSlay can help them reach that century mark. Skating against Tegan and Scaria. This is a great matchup. We've seen it before. Let's see what happens in 5 seconds.
First time in a couple of jams that we have nobody in the penalty box. Oh, big hit there by Lee Featherstone.
Yeah, that slowed Ovarian Barbarian down real good. Morgan McSlay struggling against a 3-wall of purple at the front of the pack. Oh, beautiful hip check by, I believe, Lee Featherstone, slowing down Tegan and Scaria. Tegan and Scaria with lead jammer status, forced to recycle halfway back. Now in scoring position for Rose City.
And there comes Tegan and Scaria one more time, coming around looking for those points in scoring position. Goes through untouched. Bento Boxer stuck in the back of the pack right now, trying to work their way through to the front. And once again, Tegan and Scaria, 5 more points picked up there. Another 5, bringing it up to 22 for Tegan and Scaria.
My, oh my, that scrum is at a standstill just behind the pivot line. Nobody's moving. Everybody wants to get somewhere. Crosstown traffic can't get through to you.
Might be a little easier now as 2 blockers for Rat City are in the penalty box. So make that 1. Tegan and Scaria looking for another scoring opportunity here.
So far, it is a 25-point jam for Tegan and Scaria, and I'm thinking we might be looking at 30. That's right, 30 points on the board for Rose City, thanks to Tegan and Scaria. I'm thinking this might have been the biggest jam of the day.
Shenanigans jamming, donning the star for Rose City.
Evergreen Gene wearing the star for reals this time for Rat City.
Both jammers having the same idea, going to the outside first, trying to work their way through. Evergreen Gene having to recycle all the way to the back, as does Shenanigans. Both defenses blocking delightfully until there goes Shenanigans, wide open hole on the inside.
Yeah, that wide open hole brought to you by Toxic Haste, doing the best that they could to squeeze that wall of white to the outside, allowing a friendly inside lane to open. Toxic Haste, last line of defense for Evergreen Gene to get by. And I have a feeling Toxic Haste is going to hold that line until they are told otherwise. All right, Evergreen Gene out. Thinking about putting points on the board.
Shenanigans has been stuck up at that front, at that back wall in turn one, calling it off with enthusiasm.
All right, that was a 2-3 point jam. Rat City 2 points, Rose City 3. I'm going to go out on a limb and say those were probably the hardest 2 and 3 points each team has earned today.
Yeah, that was a hard-hitting jam there with not a lot of give by the blockers on either team.
No, not at all. The blocking that particular jam was amazing on both sides. There is no doubt. Renegade Ruthie wearing the star for Rat City up against Evangelical. Woo! Out of the box, Irie Strider coming in to help her jammer through.
Both the jammers once again just battling these teams as blockers. There comes Evangelical, finally able to get out of the pack after about 30 seconds of fighting.
Yeah, Stranger did not want to let that one go.
There comes Evangelical for a scoring pass. 5 points picked up there for the lead jammer for Rose City. Pack moving very, very, very slowly coming into turn 2. Both jammers still in the middle of the pack right now. Evangelical is your lead jammer.
But struggling to get past that wall of white. Ponyo Knees helping to reinforce that wall of white at the front. Wall gets broken up a little bit. Renegade Ruthie is also trying to help.
Evangelical's like, I don't want to go all the way to the back of the pack. I'm going to just call it. That's, yeah, not what I want to do right now.
Let's pick our battles. This is not a battle I pick. 3 points on the board for that last pass, bringing Rose City to 8 points. 246 for Rose City, 92 for Rat City. We've got about little less than 7 minutes left in this game. Morgan McSlay skating up against Beyond Thunder Dame.
Beyond Thunder Dame at the front of the pack. Mad Medic towards the back of the pack is sent to the infield and has to recycle all the way back around to reset. Getting a little bit of help from number 253 and Smash Away.
I love it when blockers help their jammers get through.
Beyond Thunder Dame is your lead jammer of status, but both jammers are out looking for those points. Nice maneuver there by Beyond Thunder Dame, spinning those hips around, grabbing that last point, calling it off all at the same time. I can't even talk.
Words are hard, but I'll tell you what, Rat City held Rose City to 3 points. That was mighty impressive. Ovarian Barbarian wearing the star for Axles of Annihilation. Morgan McSlay wearing the star for Reign of Terror.
All blockers on the track, so the jammers have their work cut out for them. Ovarian Barbarian going to the left side, then to the outside. Morgan McSlay has to come all the way back around, needing a little bit of help from her friends. And here comes Ovarian Barbarian as your lead jammer for the Axles of Annihilation.
About ready to start passing some hips and putting points on the board. Taking that inside line, but bop to the inside, forced to recycle back behind Ponyo and Kendra Hertz. That 3 wall of white in the back is just slowing Ovarian Barbarian down. Ponyo Knees getting sent to the box for something bad. We'll say a direction of gameplay.
Ovarian Barbarian has to go all the way to the back of the pack in turn 1 there. Kendra Hertz sent to a knee, trying to help her jammer get through. There's Morgan McSlay, one skater to beat, keeping.
Oh, I don't know, man. I thought that she kept her skates inbound, but you know what? Better to be safe than sorry. Beautiful
Absolutely.
work recycling yourself instead of taking that risk.
5 more points picked up there by Ovarian Barbarian. Not 5 more, first 5 of this jam.
Yeah, hard, very difficult earned points. Difficult earned points? Well, whatever.
We know what you mean.
Stranger and Kendra Hurts just being that last line of defense. Hold Novarian Barbarian back. Ponyo knees, jammer of record for Rat City. Busts through like nobody knew she was carrying the star. I actually think nobody knew she was carrying the star.
That move, Ponyo knees put on that last blocker there and coming into turn 4. I mean, like, I didn't know you could turn that way while moving forward. It was pretty incredible to watch there.
Yeah, I thought that there was laws of physics, but sometimes in Derby, they seem to break them. All right, we've got about 3.5 minutes left in this last game of the tournament for 2018. Thank you so much for coming out here, watching this phenomenal B-team tournament that the Rust Riot is. After this game, we are going to be presenting MVP, Jammer, and Blocker awards for the entire tournament. So definitely hang out and see who the most valuable players were for this weekend.
Tegan and Scary on the jam line for Rose City, and that's Evergreen G number 44 for Rat City.
3-4 pack advantage in favor of Rose City, but that's probably going to only last for a couple seconds because when someone's standing in that penalty box, that means they've only got 10 seconds left. Kendra Hurts back on the track, so it's a full 5-on-5.
Tegan and Scary at the back, up against that back 3 wall of, oh, that's a back 4 wall. That's pretty much every blocker Rat City's got going up against Tegan and Scary. Evergreen Jean coming around in second position. Wow. Tegan and Scaria calling it off on her back.
That was a millisecond. If she had been a millisecond later, Rat City would have been able to put the points on the board. Excellent timing on behalf of Tegan and Scaria.
Shenanigans donning the star for Rose City.
Renegade Ruthie wearing the star for Rat.
And here comes Shenanigans out in first position. Second position is Renegade Ruthie.
Wow, this is a foot race to the points. Oh my goodness. Did we pass hips? Yes, everybody passed some hips. You passed hips. You passed hips. Check under your seat. I'll bet you passed some hips.
Two points for Rose City on that one. 1 point for Rat City. Just about a minute and a half to go in this final bout of the 2018 Rust Riot. Rat City at 93, Rose City at 262.
Mad Medic wearing the star for Rat City, and we are looking at Evan Heligal once again wearing the star for Rose City. Everybody's on the track. Everybody's fighting hard.
Carolina with a huge shoulder shot to Evangelical, sending her to the outfield and has to recycle all the way around. And once again, Carolina sending Evangelical all the way to the back. Nicely done there. Great blocking, great hitting by the Rat City blocker.
Yeah, you know, some people think of blockers as larger statued, but Carolina is like dynamite. And just amazing things come in tiny packages. There's some explosive movement that she can get and literally send a jammer flying. I love to watch Carolina block.
You know, I hear a lot of skaters, especially in different leagues that I am a part of, they talk about the smaller skaters hitting harder and it hurts more.
You know, it seems counterintuitive, but it's right. I believe it. I believe it. All right, Mad Medic, a minute and 15 seconds out. Finally, lead jammer status has been declared. Mad Medic with lead jammer status for Rat City. Rose City only putting 3 points on the board for that pass. Oh my, Mad Medic calls it off with 1 second left on that period clock. I believe we've got enough time for a timeout for Seattle. One more jam.
Yeah, Mad Medic there thought that she had an opening, and then 516 Irie Strider, just a huge hit there, knocking her to the infield, and that's why she had to call it off. Luckily, it looks like we're going to get 1 second back on the clock. Time for one more jam.
Yeah, I just happened to be looking at the period clock right at the same time, and it was literally 1 second left on that clock when she called it off.
And we've seen this matchup before for the last jam. You're going to see Beyond Thunder Dame taking on Morgan McSlay.
Looks like drone number 13 has fouled out for Rose City, so they are substituting that skater with another in the box. 3-4 pack advantage in favor of Rat City right now.
Morgan McSlay taking a knee, but now going to the outside. Here comes Beyond Thunder Dame at the front of the pack, trying to push those front two blockers out of play.
Yeah, well, Lee Featherstone and Stranger have another thing to say about that. Gets lead jam status, calls it off. No points scored, but that's okay with Rose City. Unofficial score right now, sitting at 95 points for Rat City. Rose City 265. Once the officials count on their fingers and toes, we will finalize this score. Come on down to the trackside, get your free high five, and be sure to hang out even longer so you can watch